Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I'm not going to be here too long. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about this whole thing with Black women are at the bottom. This is not a new sentiment that we've heard in these spaces, of all of the spaces with Black people speaking on Black relationships, men, women, and that sort of thing. We've heard that because we've heard all of the critiques. I've even said plenty of that, whether in those words or not, on my channel. However, that was getting on my nerve. I actually forgot I had it in my ear, y'all. Excuse me. Anyway, I've said plenty of that on my channel, discussing the different issues and the different problems that Black women have and experience, many of them self-inflicted wounds. And I wanted to comment on this whole concept about Black women being at the bottom, and to a certain extent, why other women of other races are saying that same thing. I want to first start out by saying this. I'm of the stance that I'll use myself as an example. I am qualified to speak on Black women because I am a Black woman. I grew up in Black culture. I understand where a lot of our pathologies come from. I understand how a lot of us are raised. I'm understanding of that lost value system that many of us are a part of, and it's ingrained in us in many different ways, and it plays itself out in a lot of different ways. I understand, although I don't agree with the foolishness and the craziness that Black women get into. Like I said, I understand where it comes from. I just don't agree with it. And it's something that we have to stop, which is why I do the content that I do on my channel. However, women of other demographics are coming out and becoming more vocal about what Black women do, who they are, who they perceive them to be, and things of that nature. And they're getting that perception really from Black women themselves. They're getting that bad negative image from Black women. Black women, and they're free to say, well, you're at the bottom of the dating, you're at the bottom of the marriages, you're at the bottom of relationships and things of that nature, and really at the bottom of the women's totem pole. Like, you're not the best of women, you're kind of the worst of women. And I know that a lot of Black women are sort of in their emotions about it, and they don't like to hear that from other demographics. Okay. But I wanted to talk about why you really need to take a look at yourself with that, because they wouldn't have nothing to say to us or about us if we did not give them the content to do that, if we did not provide the footage of us clowning, acting a fool, devaluing ourselves, devaluing our men, devaluing our children, and not caring about our communities. Years and years and years. There's years, ladies, years worth of video evidence, content, audio evidence, news stories, all kinds of stuff of various Black women from across the nation, various age groups. There's no particular age group. There's no particular socioeconomic group. There's no particular anything. Just Black women across the board. Whether she's wealthy, whether she's struggling, whether she's a welfare queen, whether she's just an average working woman, doesn't matter. The Black woman's image is one of a devalued, broken woman. We devalue ourselves, and we've put ourselves in position to be ridiculed by the world. And I'm going to tell you why we put ourselves in that position, how we put ourselves in that position. By devaluing men, the men of our community, and by insisting that we don't need their covering and we don't need them and we don't listen to them and we don't have to do anything that they want or ask or suggest or any of that. We do what we want to do. I've stated before that has resulted in a sort of unbridled kind of chaos that we enter into. We've taken that chaos and we've put it on the public stage. The fact that there is video content of us engaging in things that everybody can give a side eye to, and then putting that out into the public space, putting those things out, because a lot of times those videos are videos that we put out on our own platforms. If you got a Facebook, if you got an Instagram, if you got a YouTube, if you got a TikTok, we're the ones that's putting out these images and these, things out in public on our own. We're out in a group. We don't mind, videotaping ourselves and this engaging in all kinds of behavior, all kinds of foolishness, and we'll post it because we think it's cute or we think it's funny or we think it's sexy or we think it's gonna get us a bunch of likes or whatever it is, that whatever kind of reaction we looking for, we think that's what it's gonna be. And so we put them things out there. And then once we have done that on our own, we don't like how people interpret that. We don't like the outcome. We don't like how people look at us and put a value on us. How people look at Black women and make an assessment, make a judgment on who we are and what we do. We hard pressed to tell them that that's not who we are, that these things are not what we do. When in point of fact, thousands and thousands and thousands of videos exist to prove that we do. Hundreds of stories exist to prove what we do to our children, to prove what we do to ourselves. We prove that we don't value our own beauty. We don't value our own selves. We don't really know our worth. We'll say that we know our worth, but we don't. Right? There's a multi-billion-dollar fake hair industry, and a lot of that money come from us. And you would say that the fake hair, fake nail situation, concept, or topic is small potatoes. And in a way, it can be small potatoes. But when we take a look at the fact that that multi-billion-dollar industry is aimed at Black women, then we have to peel back the layer of what's the pathology that fuels that. Because they wouldn't be able to make their money off of us if we didn't give them their money. If we had value for our own beauty standards, regardless of what anybody else thought was beautiful or not, there would not be a multi-billion-dollar hair industry that is directed at Black women. Other beauty supply stores that sell to white neighborhoods, that sell to non-Black neighborhoods, do not have the amount of fake hair in it. They have other stuff in it. Beauty, they have like the makeup more so. Or they have hair tools, rollers, curlers, flat irons, stuff like that. They have stuff for your nails. They have stuff for your pedicures. They have, they might have one or two little wigs. They might have a little bit of little phony ponies or something like that. But it's not this super huge selection. If you ever been in a Sally Beauty or you ever been in any other little beauty supply stores that serve non-white women in their communities, it don't look the same. You can't go to those other beauty supply stores and get the same thing. But in Black beauty supply stores, the main focus is hair, whether that's braiding hair, whether that's sew-in hair, quick weave hair, whether that's whatever kind of hair it is, whatever kind, however you gonna put it in your head. There's walls of it, rows of it, aisles of it, very few aisle of hair care products. What about your makeup? What about your pedicure? What about, actual beautification? They have them things, but it's more so about the fake hair. And that hair don't look like our hair. That hair looks like Brazilian women hair. That hair looks like Indian women hair. That hair looks like, you understand what I mean? It's the texture. Now, they don't sell European hair, but the hair that we buy is the texture of European hair. So we're trying to get that look, that wavy look, the French wave and all that other kind of stuff. We're trying to get that. There's a reason that I'm bringing this up. We devalue us before the world. Therefore, the world judges it and doesn't add any value to us. They're believing what we say, what we present. They're believing what they see rather than what we say. Let me correct that. They're not believing what we say. They're believing what we show them. And then what we say doesn't have any weight to it, because we come out and we say things like Black girl magic, and you know what I'm saying? We say things like Black women knowing their worth and healing and being positive and all of that sort of thing about who we are. But your average Black woman, that's her thing. She gonna twerk, she gonna fight, she gonna argue, she gonna say something stupid to her man, she gonna act crazy in public or something. All that fighting in the airport, that's us. That be us. All that fighting in fast food restaurants, that's us. And we can say other demographics of women do it too, but there's not this mountain of evidence that's going on that proves it. And we shouldn't be concerned about what they do. We should be concerned about what we do. I just wanted to come give you that quick PSA. All right. So everybody, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hello, my Crimsonites and all of my supporters. I invite you to go and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now at crimsoncure.com. This is guaranteed to change your perspective and positively impact your life. So go ahead now to crimsoncure.com and get your copy today.